All right, time to talk about stuff. And yeah, weird here, but no worries. All right, so let's talk about the great update today on the JP side. We got Noctis, we got Prompto, we got the new Vision card, we have the Fire Selection quest, and there's a couple things ending too that I want to talk about before they actually end, and there's about 7 minutes left, so let's get this done. First of all, let's talk about the Guild Raid. I was going to do a video much earlier about this, and since then, it's just been kind of a little bit too busy this week. So, getting some information right here at the end and some thoughts. First of all, it was a pretty cool little event. You have 3 attacks per day. You're able to choose which boss you want to fight. Once all 5 bosses are done, you get to go up a round. Round 10 is the highest, and we actually got an answer today that once you finish round 10, you actually just go on to round 11, except round 11 is essentially round 10 just again. Some things to really note very quickly about this event. First of all, it was very possible for groups on the JP side to finish up to round 10. Beyond, as you can see here, we have the number 1, number 2, and number 3 guilds here on the JP side. Black Cat, which has taken the number 1 spot, and at this point, with about 6 minutes left before this is over, they're probably going to win. So, congratulations to that. But there is, even within the current clan or / guild rankings and ratings, about how much damage you've been able to do over the course, which ones you've fought, where your ranking is against specific ones. So that is interesting and a pretty cool little thing. From one thing I've noticed, this is actually a pretty good designed little piece of content because you can do as many practice runs as you want on any level difficulty that you want. Earlier on, I actually found the event a little bit more fun, and later on I found it a little bit more challenging. Some of the bosses do get some pretty powerful attacks that can potentially threaten other elements. But the one big as in BG takeaway I have from this event is that mono element is king. Being able to exploit certain bosses' weaknesses or slow them down and make massive chains are the ways to deal really big damage. But elemental chains, from my experience, have been just really strong. They have been ways of doing a lot more damage, and it's just kind of an interesting little event where you can see scores that people have been able to do, how high their performances be. Here you can see from my guild right here in round 6, very high amount of damage from a fire elemental team here, and that's pretty cool, just being able to check out each of the bosses and see how much damage has been done to each, and what teams are really effective and what teams are not really effective. It's a pretty cool event, and I hope that this happens pretty regularly, because it doesn't require any stamina, it doesn't require anything extra really. It's just another thing to do, and it gives you some resources. Speaking of that, let's just roll over and talk a little bit about this really quickly, about what the rewards are. The rewards are basically a whole bunch of different stuff, a whole bunch of summoning tickets for various things such as seals, books. Right here you can see we have Esper crystals, which is pretty nice just to get more of those. Do this one. But there is a good amount of stuff that you are getting from this, so it does feel rewarding, and I am curious to see if I can't remember if there are any clan placements, but I think there was, if I remember. But it's another generator of materials in the game, and I think that's perfectly good enough to exist. Yeah, the last one is that. And I do think that, and the rewards do scale, getting higher, starting out as blue and green statues, and then going all the way up to higher tier statues. that are just a little bit better. And even at some point you have not that selection. That was not what that was. But there even was a couple of selection tickets around round 7 to use various materials for yourself, and I do believe these are the ones I ended up getting, but they were for defeating a boss. Still, a nice thing to get, regardless. Anyway, I have to say that overall my thoughts of the Guild Raid event were pretty nice. Alright, rolling on, let's talk. We're not going to be doing any reviews video. That I'm saving for something separate. We're going to talk about the FF15 event really quickly and some of the pieces of equipment and what can be got from it. So the FF15 event is basically, just another collaboration. It's there's no story, there's nothing extra to speak of. It's essentially business as usual. Taking a look at the fights, there were only basically the 3 maps, and then there were a couple of repurposed maps. I don't even think that there's really too much to talk about here, so we're just roll on. The weapons, however, are a little bit more interesting. We do have the engine blade for Noctis, which is a slash resistance ignore blade. I think I got that right. But essentially, it allows you to get around slash resistance, and it's a pretty nicely statted weapon, about 150 attack, about 70, 80 magic. It's a pretty nice little piece of equipment, and you'll probably want to build at least one of these. However, I kind of really like Prompto's gun a little bit more, just because it is a defense penetration gun, which is something I think that Frederica has been missing for a while, as well as some other ranged units that can equip guns will probably find this piece of equipment better. And if I was to say, I'd probably want, to farm a +5 of Noctis's weapon, and then get into a couple maybe of +5s for Promptos, because it's just maybe. I'll have to think about that more. But we're actually going to be concluding this video by talking about a piece of the global data mine, which is this image and this image. So we have 2 images that were data mined out of the global update. One of them, which should not be surprising at all, given the fact that there are summer medals A, implying that there are probably summer medals B. And that looks to be true. So yes, Kilf is going to be coming. Kilf. She will be coming probably in the following week or 2 weeks later for Globalers. So I'm not surprised about that at all. I think there are some people who are more excited for her than others. So definitely go for that one. As for Elsie, that's a surprise. We on the JP side have not caught any wind of this happening, at least as far as I know. So this is interesting that it was in the global data. So it's probably going to be a 2 units for this for these 2 girls. Basically, they're going to end up on the same. As for the JP side, we haven't heard anything about this, but there is the entire month of August. I don't expect it to really be that late. Matter of fact, I probably expect this unit to drop about the exact same time that RNA is dropping. Why? Well, I mean, a single unit banner almost never entirely happens, even if there is a vision card, surrounding it. So I think that this will probably just be the beginning of August unit for the Japanese side. And I think Global and Japan will get it about roughly the same time as same with Kilf. So yeah, those 2 are in there. If I had to give a guess about Elsie at this point, her position's a little weird on here. I don't expect her to be an axe. I'm kind of curious about what element she's going to be. Previously, she was a light element, but no character in their follow-up version has ever been the same element. So if we're not looking at a light-based unit, I'm going to guess that she's I'm just going to guess right now wind or ice, because those 2 are haven't really got anything too recently. They're probably needing something else. As for the weapon type, I don't know. I want to. My heart says fists because a wind fist would be a counter to Noctis, but at the same time, RNA is coming to the game, and she would be a counter to this unit. Um, if my timing on the Japanese side holds true, I'm gonna say Mage. Gil went from Mage to Brawler. We're gonna have Brawler go to Mage. Why not? It's like poetry in the sort that it rhymes. Anyway, let me know what you think Summer Elsie is going to be, because at this point, it's pretty much all but confirmed that we're going to end up getting her, at least on the global side, if not the Japanese side too. But yeah, I think we've seen a few instances of this before where global gets it roughly around the same time. But hey, thanks global side Datamine for spilling the beans. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.